Hello everyone, this is Gwyneth and welcome to my channel. So, where are we today? We're on May 1st and this forecast runs till the 14th. So much has happened in the last few days on the planet, personally. In fact, on the 30th, I mentioned this during my last forecast, we had a formation, an astrological formation called a kite. The kite is one of the most dynamic transits. But let's put it plainly. It's an opportunity for your intuition to kick in and work to your benefit so that you can explore issues that may have been lying beneath the surface. So it's probably been an illuminating period. I'm going to keep the review portion of this very, very short because I want to capitalize or punctuate, so to speak, several areas that I think are extremely important for you to know about. But before I go there, I want to talk about the fact that if you are enjoying this podcast and you gain some value from it, along with liking and subscribing, if you could share this channel with your friends or family, it would make a world of difference. So I wanted to mention that, and not to put too fine a point on it, but it has been one ride through April. I have to say that so many people have come to me with comments and have expressed actually a desire to know more about the process of understanding astrology. So that's terrific, I think. But so I'm going to move on. But if you ever have questions or you want to drop me a line, go to cottagetarot.com and we can chat, and send me a comment and I'll get back to you, and we'll see what we can do with that information if you have a question at all. So let's jump in here and talk about what's going on this period from the 1st to the 14th. I think the big news, it's even bigger than the fact that we have a Scorpio full moon. That's great. I think it's going to be a lot to talk about. But I think probably an even more important transit occurs when we have what we're calling a Mercury conjunct Chiron. And Chiron is about healing. Chiron is about dealing with areas of your life where you feel like you may not have all the tools in your toolkit, or you maybe came in without having the nurturing you needed, or any number of things. And it depends on where it falls in your chart too. But when Mercury comes together with Chiron like this, and at a pretty late degree, I think it's 27 degrees of Aries, which is getting close to that anaretic 29 degrees. It's a period that cannot be ignored. So you may have found yourself, and it's still the 1st, so there's more to come, but an opportunity to discuss an important issue with a family member or with a friend, or maybe you have had your feelings hurt and you want to talk with your husband about that. Any number of situations can come up when we have a Mercury conjunct Chiron. It's a healing conversation. It's an opportunity to understand somebody better. It's an opportunity for you as a card-carrying member of the human race to learn more about how people feel and react to things. So it's a very interesting transit. The other thing that is going on simultaneously is that Venus sextiles Saturn, and it's Venus in Gemini, and right before Venus, right as Venus moves into the sign of Gemini, and it's sort of still in the early degrees, but it sextiles Saturn in Aries, and it's at 9 degrees. So it's, to me, that's pretty early on. It's a very strong emphasis on making and it's a very sweet connection between Venus, which is all about love and beauty and harmony, and Saturn. And Saturn wants to do something to make it stick. It wants security. It wants strong bonds and strong commitments. And that is the nature of this particular transit. It's an effort to commit to a deep well of affection. And then, of course, we mentioned it right in the beginning. I did anyway. It's not a we here. I have a dog and a cat sitting behind me, so maybe they were whispering in my ear, but we have a full moon in Scorpio. It's the culmination of activities and concerns and whatever you've been working on over the last few weeks. Scorpio is about intensity and passion and deliberate decision-making and sexuality. Oh my. So it's there. It's a package deal. Excuse me, I wiggled the camera. It's a package deal for you. It's this feeling like you're signed, sealed, and delivered to something that you care deeply about. So that's just Friday the 1st. And with this full moon in Scorpio, there's an opportunity for sharing feelings with somebody. And it doesn't have to be romantic. It could be platonic. But the emotions are very strong right now. The other things that are going on are a little lighter. So we have Mercury moving into wonderfully earthy, practical Taurus. So that's going to be great for Taurians. Then we have, and that's on the 2nd. On Monday the 4th, Mars squares Jupiter. We've got a lot of squarey stuff going on. Mars will want to take action, and Jupiter might be resisting. Jupiter in the sign of Cancer. Jupiter is loud and large and a little gassy, but it's in the sign of Cancer. It's home, family, chicken soup, all those good things. And Mars is, in the sign of Aries. It's a little bit argumentative. It's wanting to get something going. And there could be, some headbutting occurring during that period. And depending on where it falls in your chart, that would be more of a deep dive. And we'll be talking about that when we look at the other, when we look at all the signs. But that's happening. And then we have Mercury square Pluto. Mercury is all about mental prowess and communication, and Pluto is just blow it up out of the water and make room for new ideas in the case that it's interacting with Mercury. So what you've got going on here is Mercury, the emphasis on ideas, communication, and a lot of heavy duty interacting, is going to be in an argumentative mood. So it could be a little bit hot on Tuesday the 5th. You might find yourself walking on eggshells around somebody. I don't like to talk about negativity, but sometimes you've just got to put, the eggs on the plate, so to speak. On the 6th, Pluto goes retrograde. Pluto, which is all about smash and grab and make things happen, in order to build a new monument or, make something happen that you think desperately needs to happen, is going to slow down energetically. It doesn't mean it actually does slow down, but by degree, it's moving a little bit slowly. So that kind of, constant movement toward change will feel like it's become lighter, a little less determined, so to speak. I like Sunday the 10th. Depending on where you are, it's Mother's Day. The sun will do a happy little dance with Jupiter, or to use astrological speak, it will sextile. The sun will be in Taurus and is in Taurus, and Jupiter is in Cancer. These two signs really they like each other. One's air, one is earth, and one is water. It's a pleasant transit for a Mother's Day. It's an opportunity to do something homey and loving. And Jupiter in Cancer emphasizes home, family, mother, the matriarchy, so to speak. And the sun in Taurus is practical. So you may find yourself spending time with a bunch of people who simply want to get together and have good food and knit, or go to your favorite restaurant, or do something in the home. But it's pleasant. So that's neat. But it's also, because the moon is in Aquarius that day, it's also erudite. It's also interested in thinking outside the box, that energy of, well, maybe we could move this outside, or maybe we could take it to the beach or a vineyard. So this could be an interesting day. And then lastly, we have a dose of practicality when the sun conjuncts Mercury. The sun in Taurus, linking arms with Mercury in Taurus. The sun shining its light on your good ideas. Maybe an issue that you've been working on for a while is starting to come together. The moon will be in Aries, so the energy of making it happen, driving it home, is behind you too. So this combination of practicality and stalwart, stick to it and move it forward, could make a project or something happen. It doesn't have to be a project. It could be something you're doing with your money, or working on something with a family member or a friend. But whatever it is, it will take shape. And that's a good thing. That's the review. That's what's happening this week. I think the most exciting stuff happens during the first couple days of this month, of this week, May 1st and 2nd. But remember, things that happen in astrology will often resonate for a longer period than just the date they occur. So let me know what's going on in your life. Let me know how this affects you. And now we're going to move on to the sun signs. Okay, let's take a look at Aries. I like to start with the elements. So it's fire, air, earth, and water. And we'll look at Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius to start. Okay. So, Aries, what's going on with you? Well, there's a full moon. And the full moon's in Scorpio. And that is in your 8th house. And your 8th house, you ask, is what? It's that area of your life where big changes are occurring. It's transition. It's buying that new car. It's, sending a kid off to college. It's one of those areas of your life. It can also mean, you know, inheritances of some sort, or, you know, a windfall that you weren't expecting, but it creates all kinds of change around you, no matter what you're trying to do otherwise. There's also that healing issue that I was talking about in the overview. So for you, and I'm looking here, I want to look more closely. You've got the energy of Aries, the Aries, and in Mercury and Chiron at 27 degrees, and it's all in your 12th house. So there could be an old connection with somebody that you actually made that connection in a past life. I believe in past lives. Some people don't. But sometimes it's things that you're working out now that you didn't get to work out before. It could be that you're stepping on somebody's toes that you inadvertently didn't want to do. But it's also, there could be a part of you that has changed to such a degree that you don't want to do what you started to think about being or doing a long time ago. I was talking to a friend recently about something, and one of her siblings started out as an athlete as a child, and everybody thought this child was going to grow up to be, you know, a world-class athlete or Olympian or something like that. And as this individual grew and grew into adulthood, she walked away from it. So sometimes a plan, you outlive the plan, so to speak. So that could be part of what's going on. As Mercury moves into Taurus, your emphasis will be on your financial concerns. How do I earn more money? How do I invest, et cetera, if you have money to do that with. And that could be some of the discussion over the next, 14 days. We have a squaring off on the 4th, and that's Monday the 4th, of Mars and Jupiter. And that's the area of your identity and what's happening with family and your roots at home. You could be having a little bit of a struggle with family members because they don't like what you've become or what you seem to be. You may have a direction in life now that you didn't have before, and you've changed, and it's affecting the family unit. So that's going on right now. On the 5th, we have Mercury square Pluto, and something is happening within an organization or a group of people that you hang out with, or that you volunteer with, or there may be people who have, and this can be, because it is a square, it can be a little bit of a difficult discussion, but there have been so many cutbacks recently in various companies. This is a discussion about how it's going to affect your pocketbook, your monthly or weekly paycheck. How will your performance within that organization affect it? Or what is that group intending to do about raises this year or bonuses, etc.? So that could be part of the conversation. On Sunday the 10th, there is a lovely, I mentioned it before, sextile between the Sun and Jupiter. And Jupiter, of course, is in Cancer in your 4th house. And the Sun is in your 2nd of money, of financial growth. And you could be finding that you're going to reap a benefit from a family activity. Maybe you sell Christmas trees and the bills have been paid and now the money is starting to flow into your pockets. Maybe there's a member of your family that has left you something in a will, and that is after probate, which has taken months, you're starting to feel like you're going to benefit from that. But it's very pleasant. It's not, it's not off-putting. And then on the 14th, we have what I call a good dose of practicality with the Sun in Taurus and Mercury in Taurus. And, my dears, it's in your house that we all care so much about, which has to do with earning our keep, bringing in money from your day-to-day work, or investing, or whatever you do with your finance. There will be some great ideas swirling around because Mercury's involved. And because the Sun is there, it pushes the envelope forward so that you feel like something is actually occurring within the area of your life where you earn money. Maybe you've gotten a raise because you pointed it out to somebody that you've worked for 18 years in a certain company and you have never gotten one. Any number of scenarios could work here, but it's practical, it's positive, and I wish you lots of luck with that. Okay, Aries, let's take a quick look at the oracle cards and see what's happening with you right now. Okay, Aries, Aries, Aries. I want to see how it interacts with the things that we've just talked about, which always seems to happen when I do these sessions with the cards. Excuse my throat clearing. I am allergic to everything right now. I live in an area where everything is blooming. Take charge of the situation. So whatever it is that you're working on, you have to make sure that you're moving forward in the way you want to, with investments or doing things with the family. But you are, as one of my friends once said, Charles in charge. Okay, let me see. Whoops. Let's see what else it wants to tell us. Aries, 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 Aries. Well, there's definitely an emphasis on increased income. 10 of Pentacles. Definitely an increase, a growth, a potential for moving the envelope toward a situation that will bring you in greater income. King of Pentacles. And at the very least, the emphasis is on financial benefits. Things may be coming apart around you, the Tower, and people might be arguing and battling. I told you there's something here where maybe a higher up or somebody in an organization doesn't agree with an increase that you're owed. But this is what I think is interesting. You will still be juggling 2 projects or 2 jobs. And the emphasis will be on what you're doing in the workplace. I'll be curious to see how this works itself out. I'm going to stop here. But Aries, find peace. Try to relax, especially toward the Sunday the 10th and into Thursday the 14th. Those are very, very calming transits that are occurring, and it should be very good for you. And on Thursday the 14th, the moon will be in your sun sign, so you can enjoy that as well. Take care, and until next time, be well. Hello there, Leo. How are you? I'm hoping you're well. Let's dive right in. Okay, so the big news is there's a full moon in Scorpio, and you know where it falls? In your fourth house. Fourth house, mom or a mother figure, your home, your dwelling, or the family that lives there or with you. I don't include pets here. That's the sixth house. So it's the people in this case. And so that's the emphasis. It's a culmination period. Maybe something you've been working on in that part of your life is coming to full circle. So that's good. There's also the same day as Friday the 1st, that's today, Mercury conjuncts Chiron. And in your case, Mercury has been in the 9th house, and it is conjuncting Chiron. So it's 27 degrees of Aries. You could find yourself having very important conversations with somebody at an academic level. You could be interviewed because you are applying to a program. You could have a friend shop with you regarding your future plans. Also, it could be somebody you've met through some of your travels that wants to open up their heart to you or share their insights with you. Or maybe you speak the language, but you don't quite get the nuances, and maybe you had your feelings hurt. So this is all coming up over this period for all you Leos. On Saturday the 2nd, with the moon still in Scorpio, Mercury will move into Taurus, and that will be in your 10th house of career. Now, because the moon is in Scorpio, it will be opposing Mercury to some degree. Your career is emphasized. It's maybe a good time to think carefully before you engage in long conversations with people at work, because it could cause irritation or arguments or misunderstandings. So just keep that in mind. On Monday the 4th, when the moon is in Sagittarius, which is good for all you Sagittarians out there, and Leo, Sagittarius is your sister sign, so it could be an interesting day for you. Mars, all about action and finding ways to gear up, will be squaring Jupiter. So there's a push-pull between the needs of what's happening with Mars in your 9th house of travel expansion, and issues that are going on a more subtle level, but still, because it's in Jupiter, it's important, and it's can have moments where it's very emotional. In the sign of Cancer, there could be a situation where you come to loggerheads about an idea or a plan. So that's coming up on the 4th. On the 5th, you have Mercury, which is all about communication and ideas, squaring Pluto in your 7th house. And where is Mercury in this case? It's in your 10th house of career. So you could find yourself talking to a partner, business or romantic, and there's a disagreement about something that's happening in the workplace or in your career life. Could be somebody your corporation wants to send you to Taiwan, and your partner is saying, "Are you kidding me? We have 3 kids and they're all in school here in Connecticut or Arizona." So it's a weird interplay, and you will have to breathe to get through this, but you will do it. On the 6th, Pluto, which is in the sign of Aquarius and in your 7th house, slows down, becomes a little quieter. There may have been some unexpected explosions occurring in your partnerships. Maybe someone's PO'd over the changes that they're experiencing. But with Pluto going retrograde, some of the momentum, but some of the fire goes out, and things can level off a little bit. And with retrogrades, we can review, revise, and redo. On the 10th, when the sun sextiles Jupiter, you have the 10th house lit up, and you have Jupiter in your, where's Jupiter sitting here? In your 12th. There's an opportunity here for you to take a second look, even though this is Mother's Day. It's a quiet interaction that allows you to look at your career choices. Maybe you'll be offered something else. Maybe you have a skill that you've seemed to have come into this lifetime with. It will give you an opportunity to test it out, so to speak, and test it out through your career. And lastly, this is the biggie, the sun in Taurus will join arms, link arms with Mercury, also in Taurus. And that energy in your 10th house could light an idea or ignite an idea that you've not mentioned before, but has very practical overtones. Because it comes together in such a positive union, it could influence and impress the people you work with, and anything could happen. So at the very least right now, career issues for you Leos are definitely on the table. So let's take a look at the oracle cards and see what's going on here. Leo, meditate. Now, there are many ways to do this. I always say that. Find a way to quiet the mind. I'll leave the rest to you. Leo. There could be an offer, Knight of Cups, love, or something else. Knight of Cups comes from a very kind, emotional person, non-gender specific. Could be a water sign person. The World, opportunities because of this person's involvement. Doors are open for you that would not necessarily have opened before. Things around you are coming undone. I get the feeling that the opportunities are coming in the nick of time because there's a happy family. 10 of Cups that comes on the heels of everything. And I'm going to take one more card, and it's the Sun card. It's very lucky. So Leo, this is also your card. It's about you. It is the luckiest card in the deck. So drop me a line. Let me know how you're doing. I want you to have a wonderful week. Enjoy everything, and take care. Okay, Sagittarius, how are you? It's been a busy week, and now we're jumping into May 1st. There's a full moon in Scorpio. It's a culminating moon. It means that you're finishing up or tying up loose ends. And it's all happening in your 12th house. Maybe you disclosed something about yourself a few weeks ago, and you've had a lot of commentary about it. Maybe a dream that you had always had has come to fruition, and you're starting to see how you can implement it. It is your 12th house. It can be also, working with an organization that has secret overtones or spiritual overtones, and you've been working with them and now you're sort of closing the book on it. Something like that is happening. There is a healing transit of Mercury conjunct Chiron in the sign of Aries. And for you, I'm looking at your chart right now, that's in your 5th house of love, children, creativity, art of some sort. And this is an opportunity through a romantic partner or through working with your children or doing something that's very creative and playful to heal some old hurts. Maybe you didn't have a lot of fun as a child and now you're learning how to play. Maybe through art you're able to express yourself and you've found that medium or a medium within art. And that's really cool. On Saturday the 2nd, the moon will still be in Scorpio. Mercury, the planet of communication, moves into practical Taurus, earthy, energetically earthy, in your 6th house of health and how you work, when you work, where you work. On the 4th, we have a transit that's a little push-pull, shove the idea back and forth, where when Mars, the planet of just do it, in the sign of volatile Aries, squares off to homey, loving, home-centered Cancer in the which Jupiter is now in Cancer. So for you, this falls in that area of your 8th house. Jupiter is up there now and moving pieces and people around for you. It's about transition of some sort. It could take 1,000 different formations. So you may be feeling that life is changing or the rug is being pulled out from under you as we speak. But that is on Monday the 4th. On Tuesday the 5th, we have another square. I heard one astrologer say it's a squarey kind of time. And tongue-in-cheek, it's not scary. It's just what we have to go through. But Mercury squares Pluto. And Pluto's in the 3rd house and Mercury is in your 6th. Again, it's an interplay between your, I mentioned this in another reading I did, between what's going on at work and the desire to tell them like it is, like you see it. You want to call the shots, or you want to tell everybody to, take a hike. But it's not gonna win friends and change the minds of enemies. You may have to downplay or soft pedal some of your ideas until we get through this transit. On the 6th, Pluto goes retrograde. Yay! It starts to slow down and there's less energy coming out of that part of the world or the astrological world. Pluto wants to make change and it wants to do it in a big way. This puts a damper on some of that. On Sunday the 10th, a lot of people are celebrating Mother's Day, and it's neat because we have the moon in playful Aquarius, in sort of inventive Aquarius, while the sun sextiles Jupiter. This is fun for a Mother's Day. So the sun is smack dab in the 6th house of everything about taking care of your body and taking care of work, But at the same time, it's sextiling Jupiter. Where is that for you? It's in the 8th house. So this could be a time when there's some kind of transition occurring in your life. And although this is happening on Mother's Day, this transition is seemingly something positive. So it could be a situation where you need to gather all the family and have them help you move your books out of your office because you're moving into a bigger office, or any number of situations like that. But I just don't see it being harsh. It's a sextile between these two, powerful planets, the Sun and Jupiter. And it could be a very growth-provoking time. Lastly, on Thursday the 14th, the Sun in Taurus will conjunct Mercury in Taurus. It is a good time for you to find a way, and I'm looking at your chart right now, to take some practical measures that will make your work life easier, will help you get into a movement-based routine. But it's practical, it makes sense. It's not from left field. It's definitely something very doable. So keep that in mind. And it could be any number of things that relate to your health. It could be simply you need to drink more water. I am no doctor, but I am definitely seeing it as something that will benefit you in a very big way. But it doesn't have to be painful because there's a conjunction here. So it's good for you and it's going to make you happy. Okay, Sagittarius, let's take a look and see what the oracle cards are saying and give it a look-see. And Sag, priorities. And that goes along with a practicality thing. It doesn't have to be crazy. Decide what's the most important thing to you. Let's take a look at a couple of the tarot cards. Knight of Pentacles, news about money or an offer. You just have to decide what makes sense. What is real, what isn't. The 7 of Cups. You're going to be very busy, and it may be taking some short trips. I'm not going to say it's for work, but it is quick. Queen of Pentacles, an earthy person, Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. It has some bearing on your finances. But it's lucky. It's the Sun card. The Sun card will often appear when something you're working on has a chance of occurring or taking wing or being fabulously successful. So this is coming up for you. Okay, Sagittarius, have a great week. Let me know how you're doing. You can always drop a line, cottagetarot.com, and I will answer you as quickly as I can. Sometimes people send me messages and it takes me a few days to get to you, but I will. Take care. Hello, Geminis. How are you? Everything well, I hope. Everything is good? Okay. So let's move on and take a look at what's going on with you. We've got a full moon in Scorpio, and that's in your 6th house. So a project you've been working on, a work project, maybe you're changing jobs, is culminating. It's coming to full circle. And this is an interesting time for you. Maybe you're changing departments, or going to school, or something that you've wanted to have happen, and it's finally, you know, the old thing is phasing out and you're stepping into a new role. Another thing I've been mentioning for everybody during this first day of May is that we have a Chiron transit with Mercury, and it's a conjunction in the sign of Aries. And as I look at your chart, I see that, you know, Aries is in that 11th house of groups and supporters and dreams and wishes. And Chiron is about old wounds. So it's partly about trusting your ability, trusting that you are good enough to do what you need to do, and that people will actually support you or believe in you, that your dreams have a potential for coming through, or coming true, I should say. This is a time when you can have that conversation with some of the people that know you best or have worked with you in large groups. Maybe you've uncovered information over the last few days that is mind-blowing, that relates to how people see you. On Saturday the 2nd, Mercury will move into the sign of Taurus. And that will, for you, land in your 12th house of spirituality and inner concerns, your desire to follow a certain life path, and in a practical way, because it's in the sign of Taurus. You don't do anything in half measure. On Monday the 4th, Mars, I always think of it as the just do it planet, will square off to Jupiter. And Jupiter for you is in that area of your earnings, your financial situation. And Mars in Aries is in the 11th house. So you may find that you come to an impasse with a person in a large organization, or you've come to a place in a group, with a group or an association that you work with, where you just don't see yourself rising financially through the ranks in a way you want to. In other words, you may have reached the top of your earning ability in that organization. Something like that. On the 5th, Mercury, which is all about the mind and how you think and communicate, will square to Pluto. And Pluto is in your 9th, and Mercury is in the 12th. So I translate this, excuse me, in that in your desire to expand your world, the way you're going about it comes from a past life, and maybe or a past situation, and maybe some of the ways you learned to gain access to education, or gain access to your ability to travel or work with other cultures, is getting in your way. Maybe you can learn some new lessons about, stepping forward and getting yourself into an academic arena, or maybe what you'd like to do is work on a cruise ship and you just don't seem to be able to make it happen. I talked to somebody one day who really wanted to be an airline steward. I said, have you been able to get the job? And he said, they don't seem to want me. And I thought that was a very interesting statement. So some of what you learned in the past might be hindering you. So keep that in mind over this transit. On the 6th, Pluto will go retrograde. Oh, thank God. So the Knock'em Sock'em robot energy will slow down a little bit. And for you, that's also in that area of the 9th house. So you may have been pushing forward to get into a special program or to do some traveling. You may find the momentum has slowed down a little bit, and it's not quite so panicky. So that's good. On Sunday the 10th, we have a lovely sextile of the Sun and Jupiter in Cancer, and the Sun in Taurus. It's very, very sweet period of time, and it takes place on Mother's Day in the States. I don't know what other countries are doing with it, but I know other countries celebrate Mother's Day at different times. So we got Jupiter in the 2nd, and Taurus is in your 12th. So again, you'll be learning something very important as it relates to your money or your ability to earn money. And it comes from a past experience or a spiritual belief, or even from a past life that said you are meant to be a king, or you are meant to be a pauper, or you're not good enough, or you are too good. Whatever it is, it plays out over this weekend, and it will benefit you. It's not a terrible thing. It could be that you are going to inherit money from a project, from a family project, or from a situation, from, maybe somebody left you money in a will. But whatever it is, it's a sextile, so it can't be all bad. And it's very good for you. And it's happening on Mother's Day. On the 14th, lastly, we have the Sun conjuncting Mercury. Practicality, hard work pays off. And it will pay off big on the 14th, because you will have found something intellectually that really makes sense, and it really fits with you on a very quiet, deep level. Something that you've wanted to see happen is going to be happening because of the elbow grease you've put towards it. And that's happening for you, Geminis. I hope you have a great week. Take care. Oh, I'm jumping forward. I do this once in a while. I forget the cards. I'm sorry. I can't close up here yet. I want to see what the oracle cards are doing. Teacher. So there's evidently somebody in your life that can influence some personal changes for you. But let's see what we come up with here in the cards. It might be that you're meant to be the teacher. Page of Pentacles. This is about news of income or finance or money coming in from somewhere. You might be doing a juggling act between 2 jobs or 2 projects. And also, this is Geminian anyway. It's the two of something. When I see when I see Gemini in a certain position in the chart, I can see 2 marriages. I can see 2 careers. I always think that's interesting. You can carrying a lot on your shoulders. You've been feeling overwhelmed. You've been working your fingers to the nubs, as my family would say. Knight of Wands, something from the past coming in, somebody that wants to get your attention. And lastly, this is not the end all be all, but you've been feeling like, you know, you've had to put somebody on hold or not let them get too close. And you keep saying to them, yeah, I'll get back to you. I'll get back to you. But that's going on. And then there's a person out there who has a lot of authority and interest in you. And that person could be stepping forward to either offer you something or to have a conversation with you. And that, Gemini, is all she wrote. And until next time, and this is a forecast from the 1st to the 14th, take care and be well. Hello there, Libras. How are you? Well, I could tell you how I am. It's been a very busy week. I bet it has for you. But let's jump right in here. So there's a full moon in Scorpio. And where does it fall in your life? In the area of finance and your ability to bring money into your circle, whatever that circle looks like. It's a culminating point. Have you been working on an option to buy something? Have you asked for a raise and they've been dragging their feet on it and now they finally decided to give it to you? It has something to do with money. So whatever that is, it could be that you're owed money from a will and probate took a long time to close and now it's happening. So that in its own weird way could be very positive. The big news for this first day of the month is that, and I think this is a big deal, Mercury conjuncts Chiron in the sign of Aries. And Libra, Aries is in your 7th house. It's opposite your sign. It can have everything and anything to do with long-term partnerships. Is there a conversation that you need to be having with your partner? And anyone that you consider a long-term partner can fall under this umbrella. Do they need to hear that you care about them? Do they need to hear that they need to hear you say you want a long-term commitment? Whatever it is will bring a healing energy into that relationship for sure. So it's worth having. On Monday the 4th, Mars squares off to Jupiter. These two are at loggerheads. Jupiter is up in your 10th house, which is all about career, your standing in community, how you're seen in the larger community. And then Mars is over in that 7th house of long-term partnerships. So you could have a partner that's very frustrated with you because you work very long hours, or they might be asking you in the company that you work for or the business or whatever you're doing, that they want to move you to another part of the world, the state, the country. Your partner might not be happy. This is a conversation that's going to be deep and intense, and you have to work it through. On the 5th, we have Mercury squaring Pluto. And Pluto is about love and romance. And it's in that area of your chart. It's about love, romance, children. Fine. But it's squaring off to Mercury. And that's in the 8th house. So something is transitioning for you. Your romantic life is changing. Your children are growing. Something is occurring. that's creating a major life change for you. And you may be it may be registering as something that's not comfortable. It could be a partner saying, I don't want to be with you anymore. Or, you know, boyfriend, girlfriend, or whatever is saying, you know what, I don't think this is working. Or one of your kids could be saying, you know, I don't want to be I don't want to play baseball. I want to learn how to knit. Whatever. It's happening and it's feeling uncomfortable, and that's what a square is. But you work through it and you figure out what the issues are, and then you move on. So that's what I can say about it. We've had a lot of momentum in so many different sectors, but Pluto is going retrograde. I like retrogrades. You know why? It slows everybody's roll. It means revisit, review, and redo. And for the next few weeks or so, when Pluto is retrograde, I have to check the dates on that, you're going to feel like things have slowed down a little bit. I don't think that's a bad thing. On Sunday, the 10th, it's Mother's Day, and the sun will gloriously connect with Jupiter. And the sun is in Taurus, yay, and Jupiter is in Cancer, yay, and these two like each other, and happiness reigns. And it's, for you, it's in the 8th house and the 10th. So something is happening in your career sector. There is a transition happening. It's a good thing. It looks like it's going to work out, and everybody's going to sing Kumbaya, I hope. Thursday the 14th, the sun will conjunct Jupiter. You can get some things accomplished. And, excuse me, did I say Jupiter? I meant Mercury. Sun will conjunct Mercury, and it's in the sign of Taurus. And where is that for you? It's in the 8th house all day long. So there's some practical issues that need to be ironed out because life is changing for you Libras. It's maybe not always comfortable, but you're going to have some practical ideas and applications that will make whatever transition you're going through smoother. Yes, I said it. It's a smooth move into something new. Anyhow, I don't know what else to say about it, but change is a-coming. Anyhow, I want you to know that, you know, this is a period of time when you could really benefit from taking a few days off because there's lots of shifts, and there's no need to make yourself crazy over what you can't control. But I do think it's a practical positive shift on the 14th. It'll be good. Okay, so let's look at what's going on with you through the oracle cards. And balance, boy, we have been talking about this for the last few minutes. You can't make this up. Balance, career, and home life. Oh my goodness. This is just sums it all up. Whoop. I know a lot of people are going through personal changes right now. People don't like change. A lot of people don't. Some people do, maybe. You got to use some creative tools and some creative imagery. And if you are a creative, make something. It'll make you feel better. Libras are very artistic, by the way. King of Swords, this is you. Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini. Knight of Swords. Listen, don't make any quick decisions. Really. That's what this is about. Because it will benefit your family to take your time. Don't buy that car yet with the money you haven't earned. because there could be some disagreements over what you should be doing next. So just lay low. Take it slowly. After all, Pluto is retrograde. Knight of Wands. Someone from the past could come riding in trying to save the day. You might want to watch that and make sure that this is really the kind of involvement you need right now. Use your intuition, your spirituality, your insight. Okay, Libra, I want you to have a great week. And again, this forecast goes from the 1st to the 14th. If you like what I'm doing, like, share, and subscribe. Please share it with friends, family. I would like to think I give you practical advice. Yep, that's me. Until next time, take care. Hello, Aquarians. How are you? I hope you're well. It's been a busy, busy week for sure. We came off that kite formation on the 30th where some new information came to the surface, but it was a kite formation that really protected the air signs, Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini, and it created a trine. So whatever happened or whatever information you received, the trine softened the landing and made things move along more smoothly. Now we're into another phase, and we're going to jump in and talk about it. On May 1st, there's a full moon in Scorpio, and that is in your career area. You're either tying up loose ends so you can move into a new position, or you've been working on a project and you're solidifying the details. That's happening, and that's at 11 degrees of Scorpio. Another important piece of what's happening on that day is that Mercury in the sign of Aries, still in the sign of Aries at 27 degrees, will link arms with Chiron, the wounded healer, the sign that talks about where we have the most difficulty recovering from whatever hurts us. Anyway, Mercury has some great ideas, and it conjuncts Chiron in Aries at a very late degree. It's almost anaretic. It's that powerful last gasp of a sign. And so for you, that's down in your 3rd house. So great ideas are coming to the surface. Maybe your siblings can step in and help you out with some of the concerns you have. Maybe you need to have some very important discussions with some of your siblings. There's something happening here that will make you feel better about life in general. If you don't talk to siblings, maybe you need to talk to a partner or to a therapist or to a spiritual advisor or whatever. But this is all coming up for you over the next few days. It's not just the 1st that you'll be feeling this. So keep that in mind. We have 2 squares, both with the moon in Sagittarius. On Monday the 4th, Mars will square Jupiter. Mars will be saying, let's get going, and Jupiter will be saying, let's make soup. Mars, it will be impatient. Mars in the sign of Aries. It's fiery, it's demanding, it's controlling, it's a leader, but it's working against Jupiter because Jupiter is in Cancer. And where is that for you? It's in the area of your body and also the work you do. And then Mars in Aries is in the 3rd house of that, what I was talking about communicating and sharing your ideas. So you may be feeling like you can't get your ideas across to somebody in the workplace. You might be on the verge of having an argument with somebody. Or maybe you have a somebody you're consulting with about the best diet to eat or the best vitamins to take, and you don't agree with them. It's just not, it doesn't fit. I mean, you can't, you don't want to take 25 vitamins, or maybe they make you feel sick. Whatever it is, this too shall pass, and you have to move through it. So, but just forewarned is forearmed. On the 5th, intellectual Mercury will square Pluto. And Pluto is in a sign of Aquarius, and it's in your first house. And Mercury is in Taurus. So you might have a disagreement with somebody in your family. You want to do a certain thing and they don't like the fact that you're doing it this way. Maybe they don't like what you're wearing. Maybe they don't like the way you're talking to people. It could be somebody in the family. It could be your mother. It could be a mother figure. Or there could be something happening in the house and you're trying to make change happen, and how you're going about it isn't working. So something like that could be occurring around the 5th. Pluto, thank God, goes retrograde on the 6th. It's going to slow everybody's roll. Retrogrades, for me, are a good thing. So it's review. Actually, it's revisit, review, and redo. So, over the next few weeks, 3 weeks, I don't remember how long Pluto stays retrograde. I should check that. You will have this sense of things quieting down. So everybody can plot and plan for the next action, whatever that is. In our world right now, we never know what's going to happen next. On Sunday the 10th, Mother's Day here in the States, but in other places, I'm not sure if they celebrate Mother's Day around this time, or it's just different parts of the year. I have to check. But the sun will sextile Jupiter. That's beautiful energy. And it's going to make you feel comfortable. And the sun is in your 4th house of home and family. Yay. And that's mother, or a mother figure. Could be grandmother or somebody that acts like a mother. And it will work to your advantage. It'll make you feel healthier. It'll make you feel good. Somehow or other, there is a workability between a project you're working on at the workplace and what's happening in the home. Maybe you can work at home. That would be great for you. So that's coming up. On Thursday, the 14th, the moon will be in Aries, and something very basically practical happens. We have the sun conjuncting Mercury. It's lovely. It's in the 4th house. You come up with a plan. Maybe you want to build a bookcase. You've got so many books, you have nowhere to go with them. Maybe there's a kid in the home, although this doesn't relate to the 5th house particularly. But maybe there's something going on in the family that needs you to help out with. Maybe you need to roll up your sleeves and really jump in and take care of something in the home. So I leave that to you, but it's going to work out beautifully. So let's take a look at the cards and see what's happening with you, Aquarius. We'll get some more detail. Okay. Whatever you do, over the next few days from the 1st to the 14th. Choose peace. Okay, Aquarius, Aquarius, Aquarius. You're going to be seeing where your assets lie. You're going to see where your ship's coming in. You've worked hard on a project and you're starting to see it pay off. There is a water sign personality involved. Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. At the very least, a kindly person. There's also a King of Wands person, Sag, Leo, or Aries. And it could be also you taking a leadership role or being a business person. It's hard work. 10 of Wands. But you are definitely moving into a new phase of your almost like a new phase of your career or your overall life path. It's great if you've got all if you have all of your ducks in a row like you want them. It's going to feel wonderful. You've been worried about money, but that you don't need to worry about either, because you have 2 projects that you're working on. And this is very Geminian, which relates well to an Aquarius energy. You might have, a side hustle as well as a full-time job. I think you're going to make things come together in the way you want to, partly because of this practical transit of Sun conjunct Mercury on the 14th. Okay, Aquarius. On that note, I want you to find time to, contemplate quietly somewhere away from everybody what your next moves should be. Don't let the turkeys get you down, and be well. Take care. Hello there, Taurus. How are you? It's been a busy few days, I know. So let's jump right in. On Friday the 1st, we have a full moon in your opposite sign of Scorpio. It's a late degree. Oh, no, it is not. I'm jumping ahead. It's at 11 degrees, so it's sort of mid-house degree. But it's in that area of your life where it's all about long-term relationships. So there's a closing out of a project with that person. Maybe you've decided to get a divorce. Maybe you've decided to move somewhere, the 2 of you. Maybe the partnership that we're talking about is business related. Maybe you're going to take over another end of the company. Whatever it is, it's a culmination moon. Another important piece here is that Mercury, which is all about ideas and communicating your ideas, will link arms with Chiron. In other words, it will conjunct at a very late degree. So it's highly energetic. It's dynamic. It's important. And it's in the sign of Aries. And for you, Taurus, that's in the deepest part of your chart. Past lives, your spiritual leanings, your life path. And something occurs in that part of your life that brings up a conversation, because it's all about communicating. Something that matters to you on a very deep level. Maybe someone stepped on your toes and said something about your religious beliefs. And you care enough about the person that did that to say, you know what, this felt bad. Please hear me out. So that will be coming up also around the 1st. And also this resonates for more than just one day. This will be something that carries on and goes forward with you. On the 4th and 5th, we have 2 squares. And they're a little bit irritating. So let's talk about them and make sure you understand that you can flow through this. Mars, the planet of just do it, has an argument or a push-pull experience with Jupiter in Cancer. And Mars is in Aries, and that is in that area of your chart where there's secrets and deep feelings and past lives, and it squares Jupiter in Cancer, and that's in your 3rd house of communication. And it could be with a sibling. It could be a push-pull with a sibling. It could be somebody who simply wants to talk to you about some very deep issues, and you simply aren't interested. You feel like it's not their business. But whatever it is, it will be forced into the open, and you'll have to deal with it. On the 5th, Mercury again is in the spotlight, and it's in your 1st house this time, because we are talking about you, Taurus, squaring Pluto in Aquarius. And Aquarius here is in your area of career, or the stuff that you do in the community, or the activities you're involved with in a large group of some sort. You could be a coach, any number of things. And there is an argument or a uncomfortableness with how you present yourself. I actually had a conversation with somebody about this today. You may not be doing it the way they want you to do it in the yield career area of your life. Maybe you work for a stuffy corporation. Maybe you didn't wear the right clothing one day and somebody noticed. This will be coming up. This too shall pass. Pluto goes retrograde, thank God. And it retrogrades in the best way possible, and because it slows everybody's roll. Enough is enough. Retrogrades have us revisit, review, and redo. So let's rethink some of what we've all been going through lately. Maybe that will help. Okay. Need I say more? I don't think so. On Sunday the 10th, the sun will light up Jupiter. The sun in Taurus will sextile Jupiter in Cancer. And it's Mother's Day here in the States. And it's Aquarius moon. So we could have some fun. We could be inventive. We could all go to a winery. Or if that's not suiting you, we could go barbecue somewhere or sit on a beach. Whatever it is, it'll be different. And in your case, Taurus is in your 1st house, of course, and Jupiter is in Cancer in your 3rd house. So there could be lots of conversations, people looking to see how you're dressed, thinking about how you present yourself. There could be lots of good things coming out of this little transit. Sun sextiling Jupiter. And the sun, in this case, is in Taurus. Lastly, the sun in Taurus, we're going back to that again, will conjunct Mercury. And Mercury is in Taurus. It's all in your 1st house. And there are practical applications here. You have the ability to communicate something that's very meaningful to you. Your identity is on the line. Maybe you're going to share with a group that you actually are an opera singer, or you really love to wear suits, or you enjoy makeup and you never wear it, or any number of things, but it has a practical application. People will be looking to see how you use this newfound skill, and it could be a very, very rewarding period. It's Thursday, the 14th, and the moon will also be in Aries, so keep that in mind. Okay, Taurus, let's take a look at the cards and see. I'm going to take a sip of my soda. It's not soda. Well, it actually is soda, but it doesn't have sugar in it. It's called prebiotic soda. Okay. So, Taurus, Taurus, Taurus. Balancing career and home life. Very important. Okay, Taurus. Let's see what else it says. Thinking about money, but doesn't mean you're panicked. Four of Pentacles. Just thinking. Could you do it better? Could you make more? An old friend, Six of Cups, steps into the circle, excuse me, and says, hey, I have an idea. Let's do something together. This is the Empress. Creative, very fertile. This friend could bring a creative idea, or this friend could be somebody that's interested in you romantically. There is a rebirth to something you used to do. Remember, I was talking about the fact that you're going to unveil something about yourself. Maybe you were really known as a dancer. Maybe you, because it's creative. Maybe you have the ability to make beautiful pictures, but it's going to come out into the open. And somebody in a position of authority is going to notice this. And it's going to be interesting, to say the least. Okay, Taurus, it is time to say goodbye. But until we meet again, I'm sounding corny. It sounds like something from a 1950s or 60s television show. But listen, this forecast goes from the 1st to the 14th. Have a wonderful few days, and until next time, take care. Hello, Virgos. How are you? Listen, it's been a crazy wild week, and we've got more to come. So let's dive right in. This is a forecast from the 1st to the 14th. Full moon in Scorpio. It's a culminating moon. It means that you've finished a project, you're tying up loose ends, and Scorpio is in your 3rd house, asking you to communicate, to write a book, to start a podcast, to lecture. So that's happening. Also, at the same time, we have Mercury conjuncting Chiron. Mercury still at this point on the 1st is still in Aries, and Chiron is at 27 degrees of Aries. Where is this in your chart? Oh, where? I'll tell you. In the area of you making major shifts in your life, some kind of major life transition. It could be anything. Buying a car, changing your lifestyle, but it's about communication. So there's going to be something that you communicate or share with somebody that is going to start a conversation that will bring incredible healing and sympathetic energies between the two of you. Maybe that person had a major life change and they feel like you didn't recognize it or didn't, say something in a meaningful way. Maybe this person lost their partner. But whatever it is, it's going to be very important to you in the long run. On Monday the 4th and 5th, Monday the 4th and Tuesday the 5th, we have 2 squares. And they're real humdingers. But as I always say, this too shall pass. Mars will square Jupiter. And I'm looking at your chart. So Jupiter is in the 11th house of groups and big associations. And Pluto is, not Pluto. Jupiter is, okay, right. And Mars is in that area of your chart about where we were just discussing of transition. So the push-pull could be that there's something in a big organization that's forcing you to make a change. Maybe you don't like the group anymore. Maybe you don't like the company you work for. Maybe they want you to move to another part of the country and you don't want to do it. That's part of the discussion. Another area of concern is on the 5th, when Mercury in Taurus will square off to Pluto. And that will be the 9th and the 6th. So Mercury will be in the 9th house of travel, expansion, new ideas. And Pluto is over in the area of how you work and taking care of your health. Do you work too hard? Do you not get enough sleep, etc., etc.? It's like you might feel like work is getting in the way of your development in some important way. There will be discussions. There'll be maybe some arguments. You may be feeling like you're being asked to do too much. So keep that in mind. Also, then on Wednesday the 6th, Pluto goes retrograde. Yay! And retrograde means, in my world, review, revisit, redo, and remake. Do it better. Take some time out and slow down. And if in case of Pluto, it will be very welcomed. So, because Pluto has a tendency to bulldoze, we want to take a minute and take a breather to figure out really what's going on. That's Wednesday the 6th. On Sunday the 10th, Mother's Day here in the States, we have a lovely sextile, a meeting of the minds. Sun in Taurus and Jupiter in Cancer, and they will dance together happily. It makes there will be a pleasant energy for that particular day. The Sun in Taurus is in your 9th house, and Jupiter is in your 11th. I think whatever disagreement might have been going on in the workplace for you may come to a standstill so that some kind of accord can be reached. So keep that in mind. And then on the 14th, the Sun will conjunct Mercury. Practical, practical, practical. And that will be up, I'm looking at your chart, in the 9th house. There's an opportunity for travel, an opportunity for going to school, an opportunity for expanding your world in some way. Maybe someone has offered you a place to stay in exchange. It might be somewhere really neat, like on a beach, or you know, in the mountains or wherever, but they say you can come stay here if you take care of the cat. I haven't met a Virgo that doesn't love cats. Now, you'll write me letters and you'll tell me I'm wrong, but this is a great opportunity for you. But it's also a practical application. You get a vacation and they get their cat taken care of. So keep that in mind. It's a little silly, but you know what? Things work out like this. So, Virgo, let's take a look at the cards and see what's going on here. Okay. I am so dried out. I don't know if it's the weather or if it's the environments that I'm spending time in, but boy. Virgo, 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 Virgo. Follow your heart. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I just think some of you Virgos are going to meet people. If you're single and looking for a partner, this could be a good time. Virgo, 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 and or around something that you care about. It doesn't have to be another person. Virgo, Virgo, Virgo. At the very least, you find balance. There could be an issue here legally that you are working on. Use your intuition around it. The High Priestess. You are concerned about money. But this says help is on its way. And it's available. Oh yeah. Prosperity is around the corner. It's better than it seems. 9 of Cups. A new day is dawning. A new beginning is about ready to occur. You might be changing your career entirely. And your financial situation could change. 9 of Cups is about enjoying the good life. So Virgo, let's see what happens. Remember, the forecast goes from the 1st to the 14th. Drop me a line at cottagetarot.com and let me know how you're doing. Okay, take care. Capricorn, how are you? Life's a-changing, I know. So much is happening right now for so many of you Capricorn people. Full moon in Scorpio. In your 11th house. An ending cycle that has to do with organizations, groups of people that you've been dealing with. Some of your dreams and wishes are coming true. But there's an opportunity to tie up loose ends on some project in a large organization. Enough is enough. There's also an opportunity to talk about your feelings, and it's a conversation that's all about healing. So the situation with this healing conversation will bring a lot of things to the surface. And Mercury still in Aries at a very late degree, and Chiron at a very late degree of Aries, 27 degrees. It's almost like an anaretic degree. Will force an issue onto the table. And I'm using symbolism to describe that, but it will be something to do with issues around the home, the matriarchy, people that represent mother or act like mother. It could be a conversation with family members about how you have felt used and abused, or how certain family members feel like they're not included, or that, you know, one person is getting singled out for some reason. So this will be coming up around the 1st and will flow forward in a few days at least, because the conversation won't just end on Friday the 1st. Could go into Saturday, Sunday, etc. On Monday the 4th and Tuesday the 5th, these are two cantankerous, argumentative days. So, this too shall pass. Mars, which is argumentative to start with, will square off to Jupiter. Jupiter, in this case, is in your area of long-term partnerships. And Mars in Aries is in your 4th house of home and family and mother. So you could have this push-pull between somebody that's a partner in your life and another family member, or an argument between two of them, and you have to act like a referee. So keep that in mind. On the 5th, Mercury will also square Pluto, and Mercury is in Taurus. Very practical and very determined and very much earthy and concerned with making and doing. 5th house, children, somebody that's a romantic partner, an opportunity for play, whatever. Will square off to Pluto in your 2nd house of money. So there may be an opportunity to go have some fun, or to do something with one of your children or a romantic partner, and you're feeling stretched. You're feeling like you don't have the financial backing to carry out what you'd love to do. So that's coming up. On Wednesday the 6th, Pluto will go retrograde. Hallelujah. And Pluto has been bulldozing its way through our lives in the sign of Aquarius, using the excuse that this is a creative, think outside of the box opportunity. And some people have been feeling like it's too fast, too furious. With Pluto going retrograde, it's an opportunity to revisit, remake or redo, and then remake. So it's like we are doing due diligence after we've seen what Pluto can do in our lives. Now, in your case, Pluto is in that 2nd house. It's all about money, the earning, your earning power, your assets. And you may find that you're not ready to spend, $80 billion on something without taking a step back and saying, wait a minute, maybe I was wrong about all of this. Maybe it's time to reconsider. So that's coming up. On Sunday the 10th, it's Mother's Day. It could be an emotional day for certain people, but it's supposed to be a beautiful day because the sun will sextile Jupiter. The sun in Taurus, and will be in that area of your life that's all about children and play and having good times, going places and being creative. And then Jupiter is in your 7th house. So if you have a partner in your life, maybe your partner is your dog walker, or maybe your partner is the person that you meet up with once a week to help you work on a project. There could be an opportunity here to spend some quality time with that person, or to have some fun doing that. So I think Sunday the 10th is going to be very inventive, very interesting, and filled with some really good feelings between people. So that's nice. On Thursday the 14th, the sun in Taurus. will conjunct Mercury in Taurus. And practical ideas swirl in a creative way, in an artistic way, in an inventive way. And you get things done in the area of the place that you feel the happiest. Having fun, going on trips, having good food, spending time with your children, with finding a romantic partner. It could be, if you're single and you're looking to date somebody, this could be a perfect practical, you could find a practical way to do that. Maybe you meet somebody who helps you take care of your pets. Maybe the person is a veterinarian. Maybe it's a friend of your offspring. Who knows? But it's a practical period. Lots of good ideas come to the surface, and it's dynamic at the same time. And it's in your 5th house. Capricorn, let's take a look at the cards and see how they're impacting you. Okay. Capricorn, Capricorn, Capricorn. What's going on? What does Capricorn need to hear? Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Detach from drama. Whether it's at your job or in that area of that we talked about earlier with home and family, and you being an arbiter between a couple people. If you can shimmy out of this, do so. Detach from drama. Oh, I love it. I love it when these cards back me up. Okay, but what else? Come on, Capricorn. What else do you need to hear? You will be taking short trips. Fun. King of Wands. This is Sagittarius, Leo, or Aries. There's something here with this person. This could non-gender specific. I always say that because these cards can go back and forth. You also might be called upon to stand up and be more of a leader. Queen of Wands. Oh, well, we're covering all our bases. Again, Sag, Leo, or Aries. Strong, forceful, energetic, clear-headed. Not afraid of dragons. The Empress, you have creative inclinations, use them. If you're interested in having a child, this is there's a possibility for it. You might have to push it forward. Maybe your partner is still on the fence. Benefits come. An increase in your financial portfolio. You might get a raise. You might inherit money. You might have a creative business that takes off. Capricorn, this is you. I want you to have a wonderful week. This goes from the 1st to the 14th. Enjoy Sunday the 10th because it'll be beautiful. And don't let the turkeys get you down. Take care. Hello, Cancers. How are you? Listen, a lot's happening this week, and this is a forecast from the 1st to the 14th. So you might want to make some notes, because some of this is really dynamic, and it will impact everybody, but certain things really resonate here with Cancers. First of all, we have a full moon on Friday the 1st in the sign of Scorpio. Now, this will resonate for a few days. It's not just on the 1st. It's in 11 degrees, and it's in your 5th house. It's a culmination of something you might have been working on a creative level. It might have something to do with one of your children. It might have something to do with a romantic interest or somebody you're dating. So it's a culmination. You may have decided the person you're dating isn't for you. You may find that one of your kids has decided to hang up the hockey stick and take up ballet. I don't know. And it's because it's so energetic. It's so filled with shifts, but it is an end to something. And it's not, or you may have one of your kids say, I was thinking of going to medical school, but I think I will change to being a veterinarian. So whatever. So it's a culmination of a lot of planning, and that's this period. Another important thing is there is a healing conversation that occurs because it's Mercury involved. Mercury is all about communication. Mercury will conjunct Chiron, the wounded healer, at a very late degree, making it a very potent late degree in Aries. And it's in your career area. It's in your great and glorious career and your community involvement. And it's a possibility that you have a conversation with somebody over the impact of your actions on your career or their career. And it's good for you. It may be a little painful, but you need to hear this, or they need to hear this. So expect that. And I encourage you to talk it through. On Monday the 4th and 5th, we have two potent squares. One is Mars squares Jupiter. And Mars will be in Aries, or is in Aries. And that is in your career house. It's that thing that you do to make money that you care about, that you've been developing. And squaring to Jupiter in Cancer, which is you. So you may have a reaction by somebody that you work for, work with, to how you're acting, what you're saying, what you are doing, how you've handled a situation. They may not agree with your efforts. And that's occurring on the 4th. Then on Tuesday the 5th, Mercury will square Pluto. And Mercury, which is in Taurus, will square Pluto in Aquarius in the 8th. So Mercury in Taurus is in the 11th house, and Pluto's in the 8th. So 8th is all about transition. And the 11th house is organizations you work with. So you may disagree completely with the overall mission of an organization, that you may not like what they're saying, doing, or sharing. So think about that. It has something to do with the work that you do or an organization that you're very involved in. On Wednesday is 6, Pluto retrogrades. Thank God. It slows down. The cacophony gets a little less noisy. Retrograde for me is a good thing. It gives people an opportunity to review, redo, and remake. So maybe some plan that everybody had in their head has been reordered. I think it'll be good for everyone. Maybe instead of opening a store in Lakewood, New Jersey, we're going to open it up in Torrington, Connecticut. Whatever. I just pulled that out of my hat. On the 10th, the sun will sextile Jupiter on a day that people celebrate Mother's Day here in the States. But the sun in Taurus will sextile Jupiter in Cancer. These two signs feel comfortable together. They make this happy little contented couple. And so the Taurus is in your 11th house of people that support you, groups, organizations, folks with deep pockets, and it will connect beautifully with Cancer because somebody in a large group, unlike what was happening a few days before, has decided they think you're pretty spiffy. They like your style. They like what you have to say. In fact, they want to bring you into their inner sanctum and share some of their projects with you. It's something like that. And lastly, on the 14th, the sun in Taurus will conjunct Mercury in Taurus. It's an opportunity for your dreams, your wishes, your desires to take a practical turn. What have you been hoping for? To buy a little cabin in the woods, to start an organic blueberry farm. I come up with all these cozy things. I think I watch too many Hallmark films. Anyway, I don't. But the thing is that there's an opportunity for your dreams to become real through practical ingenuity. Keep that in mind. That's Thursday the 14th. It's big. For you, Cancers, anything could happen. So on that note, I'm going to sign off and pull out some oracle cards for you. And we're going to look at the oracle cards. And also remember, this is a forecast for 14 days, but we have a lot packed into those 14 days. So let's see what the oracle cards can add to this conversation. Oh, open your heart to love. I love this card. I think this is beautiful. It takes no imagination to consider all the opportunities. Please also remember to like, share, and subscribe. I'm trying to grow this channel. I'm working on several different projects that relate to it, so we'll see where those take us. But you might be ready to launch something. This is telling us it's time to stand up, take the blindfolds off your eyes, and get busy. Two of Swords. You have to take charge of whatever this new action is. Queen of Wands. You are in the catbird seat. You are the business owner. You are the how to put this? You are the chief cook and bottle washer. You are going to be doing it all. You've had many anxious nights about this. You've been worried. You're doing the right thing. 9 of Swords. Breathe and come up with a an idea, a pact with yourself. After 5 o'clock, turn off the worry. Treat it like it's a clock. Turn it off. You can't fix it. There's nothing you can fix at night. Nighttime is for hot tea, cozy socks. I know, I'm a Cancer too. Crawl into your nest and push the world away. You can't fix it after 5. Let that be your credo. Someone has your back, the Emperor. This is somebody in a position of authority. They like what you do. If it's for a company, they like how you operate. If it's for the community, you are seen as an important player. They know you've been doing it all yourself. 10 of Wands. They know that you're committed. And the Lover's card is also about the potential for a long-term partnership, a committed long-term partnership that comes from this person having spent time with you and knowing how hard you work. And also, this card is important. Open your heart to love. Okay, Cancers, until next time, be joyful. Find ways to show people you care. And have a fabulous week. Bye-bye. Hello, Scorpios. How are you? This forecast runs from May 1st to the 14th. So let's dive right in. So on Friday the 1st, we have a full moon, an outstanding full moon in Scorpio. It's your moon, Scorpio. This is you. It's about you and your life. It's a culmination of so much of what you've been working on. It's tied into your identity, your talents, your incredible insight. At the same time, we have Mercury in Aries, conjuncting Chiron in Aries at a very, very late degree, almost anoretic, but not quite. So it makes it very powerful. And this lands in your 6th house. Something you've been working on, a group of people that you've been working for, are forcing your hand. You are having to have a massive conversation with them, a healing conversation to get something off your chest. Now, it might be vice versa. Excuse me, I have allergies to something. It might be something like they don't like what you've been working on. They want you to change direction. And this could cause problems because you've already taken the project so far. So that will be coming up around the 1st. And don't forget, this will resonate for more than one day. So that's something you keep in mind. On Monday, the 4th and 5th, we have 2 irascible squares. Mercury in Taurus has moved into Taurus. So just keep that in mind too. But on Monday, the 4th, Mars will square Jupiter. Mars in Aries will square Jupiter and in the sign of Cancer. So Cancer is now in your 9th house and Mars is in your 6th. So the way I translate this is that you might have a desire to go on a trip, to do something interesting outside your work world. Maybe you find the people you work with uninspiring, and you're going to be like, okay, I need a vacation or I'm going to lose my mind. So that could come up. It could cause some conflicts. You might even be tempted to get into a shouting match. On the 5th, Mercury and Taurus, your opposite sign, by the way, Scorpio, will square Pluto in the 4th house. Something happening in the family, or with the family, or with the family home, could set off an argument with your partner. Or it could go the other way. Your partner could irritate a family member, could irritate a mother figure. But whatever it is, there is a conflict between those two areas of your life. On the 6th, Pluto will go retrograde. Yay! Pluto has been moving things along very quickly. Pluto has a tendency to knock down things to make room for new things. It's not genteel. With a retrograde, I love retrogrades. We have a chance to review, remake, and redo the whole thing. So something that we thought before was a great idea, we have a chance to make it even better, or to jettison it completely. So that's coming up. On the 10th, the Sun in Taurus will sextile Jupiter in Cancer. Now, we already know, for you, Scorpio, Cancer is a very compatible energy. And Jupiter is in your 9th house. Taurus is in your 7th. This happens on Mother's Day. So it could be an opportunity to travel to some distant shore with a partner, a business partner, a romantic partner. It could be an opportunity to go to a workshop, learn something different. So, and it's inventive, it's different. Maybe you get invited because of somebody you're working with to take a trip to, well, I don't know, Taiwan or Cancun or whatever. And it's for work, but there are so many opportunities to take a break. It will seem unbelievable. So this was coming up on the 10th. Then on Thursday, the 14th, the Sun in Taurus will conjunct with Mercury in Taurus. It's in your 7th house, Scorpio. So somebody that acts like a partner, a work-day partner. It could even be, somebody, it could be a son-in-law. It could be a sister-in-law. It doesn't have to be a romantic partner, but it could be. The two of you will have a conversation that will help you to figure out something very important about your relationship. Maybe you didn't realize you were partners. Maybe you didn't realize that you were actually in love with each other. Whatever happens, it's practicality taking you toward a very rewarding outcome. I like it. I like it a lot. So, Scorpio, let's take a look at the oracle cards and see what they're doing and what wants to come out. Scorpio, Scorpio, Scorpio. Okay. What do we want here? Ooh, flow of prosperity. This is the first card out. So there's an opportunity to make that happen. Whatever it is you're up to, there's a project or a connection with somebody that will make money and goods come toward you. News about finance. Knight of Pentacles. You've had your heart broken over something that related to money. But financial growth. 10 of Pentacles. It'll be good for you and the family. You've been worrying needlessly. I don't know if it was because of the stock market. I don't know. Maybe you thought that, you know, something you were meant to inherit wasn't coming to you. But this is the 8 of Swords. It's the card of illusion. The card of needless worry. Don't go crazy if you hear that this is going to take place. Don't go out and buy a second home. Wait. Because this is saying be cautious. Take your time. And lastly, there's an opportunity here. It's going to change your life. It's big. The World card. It's not like the wheel of fortune. This is different. This is the world. You step through a portal into something bigger. Scorpio, have a wonderful week. And until we get together again, take care. Hello there, Pisces. How are you? Last but not least, let's take a look at your week from the 1st to the 14th of May. There's a full moon in your sister water sign of Scorpio. It takes place in that area that we love, where it's all about learning new things, experiencing things through travel, maybe going to some place to learn a new craft. Scorpio sits in that area of your chart, and it's a culmination moon. It's the ending of something that you've been working on. Maybe you're ready to finish the program, come home from a trip, whatever. So, excuse me. So that's happening. Then Mercury will conjunct Chiron at 27 degrees of Aries. This is a healing, almost like an intervention from the universe. And it happens to fall in the area of your chart that is all about your worth, your earning power, your ability to attract goods and services and support from other people to you. It's your second house. There will be a conversation with somebody, because it's all about communicating, about money, about what they think you're worth. Maybe you've been hired to do something and they want to underpay you. Maybe you are a creative and you got a gig and the people that have hired you don't realize how talented you and your crew are. So this will come up. It's very important because it's about dealing with that sense of not being good enough, not being worthy. For you Pisceans, it's time to step into your power. And it's going to be happening over this next few days. On Monday the 4th, Mars will square Jupiter. Mars is feisty, squaring Jupiter in homey Cancer. So homey Cancer falls in your 5th house of love and romance and children and parties and taking tea on the lawn. Just kidding. And Mars is in Aries. And Mars in Aries is in your finance arena. So there could be an opportunity for you to have some real fun around the 4th, but you don't have the support or the financial backing or enough money in your savings to pull it off. Or you feel like you can't. On the 5th, Mercury in Taurus will square Pluto in Aquarius. And Taurus, is in your 3rd house of ideas and communication. And Pluto is over in your 12th. So there could be a push-pull between your ideas and your good sense and your desire to help community and your ability to speak up will square off to Pluto in your 12th. And the 12th is your past life. It could be the past life of being a child, or you could go back to another past life. But somehow or other you learned that you had to be silent. And this is a personal struggle for Pisces. You're going to have to speak up. It won't be easy, but this is important. Pluto retrogrades. Thank God. Pluto is loud. It's pushy. It's aggressive. It takes no prisoners. To make change. With a retrograde occurring, the retrograde is insisting that we review, remake, and then redo it, or redo it and remaking it. I love retrogrades. They ask us all to slow down and to look at what we think we're doing. On Sunday the 10th, we have an inventive moon. It's in Aquarius. And the sun will sextile Jupiter. It's fabulous. The sun in Taurus and sextiling Jupiter in Cancer. It's a lovely interplay. And it's ideas flowing from your 3rd house into your 5th. Your ideas, sharing, communicating with those people that you love, doing things that you love that are creative. It'll be a lot of fun. It's also Mother's Day in the United States. On Thursday the 14th, the sun will conjunct Mercury. Both planets in Taurus. It's all about communicating. It's all about writing. It's about sharing ideas. It's about putting your ideas into the world. You will not be silenced. You're learning that lesson this time around. It's practical. It's functional. What you're offering up makes sense. It's not silly or a waste of time. It's wonderful. So, Pisces, that's the week. It's actually more than a week. It's definitely more than a week. It goes to the 14th, 1st to the 14th. Keep that in mind and drop me a line if you like what I'm saying, or you're enjoying this, or you get something out of it. Share it with friends. Let them know I exist. As we like to say, like, share, and subscribe. It's easy. No, it's not easy. You have to slow down and take time to click on different buttons and where are the buttons. And listen, drop me a line. Let me know that you've seen this video. If you need any help, you need information, I can always do a reading for you, but maybe all you need to know is what your rising sign, your real rising sign is. I set this up so that the rising sign is the sun sign. It's for sun, moon, and rising. So whatever you think you are, we can find out for sure. Pisces, Pisces, Pisces. Yes. Energy healing. This is great. Listen, the simplest energy healing is to walk on a beach with your shoes off. It changes the ions. It changes your energy. It changes your chi. Energy healing. What else does Pisces need to know? Quick local trips. Coming and going. A lot of energy being spent going back and forth. Using your intuition, doing some soul searching. The Hermit. Page of Wands. News about a kid that you love, care about. Just a message in general. Possibly being delivered by a young person. The Emperor. He keeps popping up. It could be, it's non-gender specific. The person has a certain amount of talent, enormous influence, and they're interested in you. They're interested in what you're doing. They're interested in what you have to say. You are at the end of a very difficult period. You have felt like you were rolled over and impaled, as the card shows. But the Ten of Swords says you are at the end of a difficult period. You're at the end of things falling apart. The Tower. It might have been that a love, a partnership fell apart. I'm picking up for some of you, it may have been that they actually passed. But whatever it is, you're ready for a new beginning. And you're ready to plant seeds, to prosper, to grow, to help you move on. There. Pisces, have a wonderful week. Let me know how you're doing. Drop me a line. And know that, you know, there are other people who share similar experiences and have gone through a lot. But there is always an opportunity to face another day, and it can be beautiful too. You know, I don't sugarcoat things, but I do know that we can grow beyond our painful experiences. And there's help for that too. So take care. Have a wonderful week. And until next time, be well.